In this far out tech video, I'm going to teach you how to set up Firefox for privacy. Now, these are going to be my methods that I use for my privacy requirements. Yours may be more rigorous or less rigorous, but these are the things I do, and I have accumulated some knowledge over the last few years, and I wanted to show people how to do at least what I do. So first we're going to fire up Firefox, and the first thing may not be what you'd be thinking. I'm actually going to type in something called About Profiles. I'm going to create a profile for each thing I want to do on the internet. So for example, if I'm doing YouTube stuff, I make a profile for YouTube. I make a profile for, I don't know, some sort of shopping thing, and then a profile for, banking or whatever. And by doing that, I'm able to compartmentalize to the best of my ability the trackers that make it through, or cookies that make it through, or necessary cookies, and I can still go to different websites without them tracking me. So I don't know if it really works, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think? So anyways, once you go into About Profiles, you can create a new profile, and we'll name this one Graphic Design. Unfortunately, you can't open new profiles from your toolbar up here, or whatever this is called, menu. And unfortunately, you can't have custom logos for each individual one. To find out which it is, what I do is I'll put a bookmark that says the name of the individual thing, so I can identify them. So let's launch the new browser. So here we go. We have the default Firefox configuration, which is not very privacy centric. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the right, click on settings, and start changing everything. I'm going to set the home page and new tab page to a blank page because I don't want any of this stuff. You don't have to uncheck those because they're not going to be there, but I do. I'm going to add the search bar so I can have a little more customizable search results. I'm going to change my default browser to DuckDuckGo, and I'm going to turn off suggestions so that no metadata can be extracted from my search results. I'm also going to turn off all of these so that, again, the less metadata, the better. I'm going to remove Google, Amazon, Bing, and eBay as from the search shortcuts. And you can always add more if you'd like, but that's what I'm going to leave it as for now. Inside privacy and security, we're going to set the tracking protection to strict. And don't worry, this isn't going to break sites. It's possible, but they just want to let you know. But I have not experienced any sites breaking with this. I'm going to set do not track to always, and I'm going to set Firefox to delete cookies and data when Firefox closed. I'm not going to save any logins or passwords because I use Dashlane, and that will control that setting, as we will see a little bit later. And I'm going to uncheck these autofill stuff. I'm also going to set it to use a custom setting for history, use a permanent private mode with the restart Firefox, and there you go. Anyways, back to settings. And I'm going to block new requests to access location, camera, and microphone. Notifications are pretty handy, especially if you use Proton Mail or something like that. And I guess we can just block virtual reality stuff as well, because and blocking autoplay is fantastic. We're not going to let Firefox run experiments and stuff and take our data, and we're also not going to let Google see what we're doing by blocking the deceptive, kite, and dangerous content. I'm going to turn on enable HTTPS only mode in all windows just to keep everything encrypted as much as possible. But of course, I'm already using a VPN as well. I would not recommend syncing anything. There are many other features. Dashlane will sync all your passwords and stuff, and there's probably got to be some third-party bookmark tools to sync bookmarks safely and securely. Now for part 2, we're going to start customizing the toolbar and adding extensions. Now, in a Mac, you can't right-click and customize immediately, so you have to go over to your menu, quick menu, and click Customize. And I'm going to just remove a bunch of things. I'm going to remove this account thing. whatever these things are. I'm going to add bookmarks menu, and I'm going to add a quick link to settings. Of course, you can always add whatever else you want, but these are the things that I leave, but you have plenty of handy dandy things like forget. Actually, I'm going to add that as well, because you can easily just clear all your data. But keep in mind, since we're not keeping anything anyway, no need. And now to get some Firefox extensions. Here we have the Firefox extension store. We're going to get a few extensions, starting off with the recommended ones, which are decentralize. This one is able to, actually I can't really explain how this one works, but it basically, they have their own hosted libraries of stuff, and that they can stop, use websites from using Google and other websites like libraries of like JavaScript and stuff like that. Of course, Privacy Badger, one of the classics. I'm not going to get HTTPS everywhere because we don't need that, because it's kind of built into Firefox. We're going to get uBlock Origin because this one is fantastic, of course. Privacy Possum is a cool extension that I just found. I love how it falsifies data to help confuse these tracking companies. It feels like you can make a major dent in the tracking world. DuckDuckGo Privacy Essentials. What I do when I'm setting up my browser for privacy is kind of a scorched earth protection theory. I have more than enough protection extensions. Many of these are probably blocking the exact same trackers, but I want to make sure that if there's a tracker that one extension knows about and that another may not, I want to make sure that I cover my tracks as much as possible. Obviously, that shouldn't be the way the internet is, but unfortunately for now, it is, and we need to make sure that people are not looking at everything we do. Using the new Panopticlick Cover Your Tracks, it looks like we do have strong web protection against tracking. We are blocking tracking ads, we're blocking invisible trackers. We are not unblocking ads that honor do not track. I don't really know if that's what I want. I'm blocking everything. I don't want to see anything. And I don't even have ad block installed. Fortunately, you have to work really hard to get a fingerprint that blends in. And you can learn more. I'll put a link to all this stuff in the description below, as well as my Dashlane link to if you want 6 months free of Dashlane syncing across devices. I like Privacy Possum a lot because they block headers, and they can catch a lot of stuff that other websites, other extensions, may not exactly see. Eviltracker.net. Remember, you can always go and create new profiles, and you can always set certain ones as a default. Use this to your advantage. Create a profile for each thing you do online, and that way you can customize which extensions you use. For example, if you're going to a website on a certain profile that doesn't really work with a certain extension, you can just remove that from that one. And of course, you can, to the best of your ability, compartmentalize your activity. My favorite thing about profiles is that I can create a profile, for example, for ProtonMail, and I don't have to add any extensions that could compromise my security, because I trust ProtonMail not to track me, and I'm only going to protonmail.com in that profile. So those are my techniques to prevent internet stalking from these big corporations. Let me know if you like it or not, and I'll always be available to comment and answer questions in the comments below. This is Derek from Far Out Tech, and I will see you in the next video.